Okay. Oops. Guess I have to have the microphone close so you can hear me. They say third time's charm. I've already tried to do this video twice and had mistakes both times. So we're gonna start all over again. Um, some of these files might need to be fixed. Okay. Which ones don't need to be and that are going to be the easiest to do? Something that's got a few more in it. Here we go. Okay, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got 6 files. So to start out with, we're going to make a new folder. And we're going to call it Valentine Floral Foliage. And I've left no spaces because later on, when it comes time to make the final ZTD file, we're just going to be able to click this folder twice, get it highlighted, copy the name, and we're going to use that name for our ZTD file. So to start out with, we want to come in here. After you make that folder, make a new folder, and you're going to call it Objects. Click outside so it's not highlighted. Make another new folder. Call it Scenery. Click again. Inside this Scenery folder, you're going to create another new folder. You're going to call it Other. This is the folder structure inside any ZTD file. So we want to make sure we have those two folders. And now we're going to come out here. And we're going to come into our rose bush. Now I already have a ZTD file. But there's been some confusion on how you rename the extension. Well, first of all, you have to be able to see that extension. If you're not seeing that extension, then what you need to do is go to your Start menu, go to Control Panel, come down and find, where is it? Taskbar and Start menu. Double click it to open it. Now over here, you click on the Start menu tab. Oh, wait a minute. Start menu. Customize? Yes. Okay. Control panel, default programs, downloads, favorites. Nope, that's files and folders. Okay, so that's not the one I'm looking for. Okay, computer, default programs, documents, downloads, favorites, help, music, network, personal folder, pictures, recorded TV, search for files. No, it's not there. Wrong one. Folder options. Here we go. So go to your folder options. click on the View tab. Come down here and look for that's hidden files. Okay, right here it says hide extensions for known file types. If you have a check mark in that, uncheck it. Make sure it's unchecked. Click OK. Close it off. You should be able to see the ZTD or ZIP zip extension on any file throughout your whole computer now, because that will enable it through everything on your computer. So to rename this ZTD file to a zip file, you're going to click in it once, click in it twice. But you notice just the name itself is highlighted. So you're going to click in, left click in an empty space out here behind the D in ZTD. That puts your cursor behind the D. You're going to backspace twice. You only have to do it twice because now you're just going to type in IP. So now it has a zip extension. Click out here in an empty spot. You'll get the warning. Are you sure you want to change it? Click yes. Now you have your zip file. So to open up a ZTD file that you've renamed, right click and just go extract here. Now I've already done this with this file, and when you click extract here, it gives you two folders, an objects folder and a scenery folder. So you want to double click the objects folder. Now you have a numbered folder. You're going to right click it. You're going to copy it. Then you're going to come down. You're going to find that folder that you made. Oh, it's in the rose bushes folder. There we are. Valentine's floral foliage. Double click it. You see your two folders that you made. You're going to double click your objects folder. And you're going to paste that numbered folder into that folder. Now you're going to go back and back again. Go into the floral bush folder. Now you're going to go into the scenery folder. You see, now it has an other folder. Double click the other folder. Copy the UCS file. That's why I couldn't see it. I didn't have it expanded. Now we come down and expand the Valentine's floral foliage. Expand the scenery folder. Now we have the other folder. Paste. So now we go back up to rose bushes. That's our floral bush done. So now we go on to the next one. Right click. You can come down and use rename, and as before it only highlights the name. So you have to come out here and click at the end of the extension, backspace, type in, depending on how far you backspace, sometimes you go a little bit too far and you backspace the Z as well. So you just backspace ZIP, and that renames it. Now, I've already shown you with the last one. So I'm just going to leave it as a ZTD. So as you see, these folders have already been extracted. Go to your objects folder. Now this is another way to do it, which is sometimes an awful lot faster than going back and forth between the folders. If you have your tree expanded, you can see here's that foliage folder we made. Here's the objects folder, the scenery folder, and inside the scenery folder, the other folder. So now we've gone into our objects folder. Here's our numbered folder. You just want to drag it down, highlight it over your object folder, drop it in. Now you see that you have two. Now we go back up to our pink rose bush folder. Open the scenery folder. Open the other folder. Now we can do the same thing. Drag the UCS to the scenery, other, and drop it in other. When you look in other, you have the two UCS files. So now our pink rose bush is done. So now we go to the red rose bush. Open the objects folder. Drag your number folder down. There's your floral foliage folder and objects. Drop it into the objects folder. Now you have three. So now we go back to the rose bush. Click on the other, or the scenery, then the other. Pull your UCS down into the other folder. Back out to rose bushes. Now we're on to the small one. Into objects. Pull it down into your new objects folder. Into the scenery, other. Pull your UCS down into the other. Onto the spiral. Your numbered folder into your new objects folder. Scenery, other, your UCS, down into your scenery, other folder. The tall rose bush, objects, into your new objects folder. Scenery, other, UCS, into your new UCS folder. Last one is your foliage folder. So when you started out, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 files. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 6 files. Come down into the other folder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now we go back up to this rose bushes folder. Now, here's where we did the naming on the folder, right? So you click it again to highlight it, right click, copy. Click outside so you can double click on it. Now, we have our 6 numbered folders in our objects folder. We have our 6 UCS files in the scenery, other. So we're all set. To combine it, click on your objects, hold Control, click on your scenery, right click, send to compressed folder. Now you see it says it's called Scenery Zip, and don't worry about that temp one that just came up. It just recently started doing that. Right click, paste. Now, before you click outside of it, you notice it still has a zip extension, but we want it to be a ZTD file. So we're going to click out here past the P, backspace twice, TD, hit enter. Yes, change it. Now we have our new ZTD file. We want to copy it. I already have everything expanded. So you want to come down to your C drive, Program Files, x86, Microsoft Games, Zoo Tycoon, your DL Update folder, paste. Now, you want to test your file. So you're going to start up Zoo Tycoon. We're going to hit escape twice. Load saved game. I'm just going to load a rotation test zoo. Open. Go to our, oh, no, that's all foliage. So you go to your construction tab, your foliage tab, scroll down to where the flower beds are going to be, and we find our 6 files. There we go. All 6 files into your game. And that's how easy it is to combine a ZTD file. Now, some may say the way I do it is long. It's the long way of doing it. You can do it quicker in WinRAR or 7-zip or something, but I have never had a problem with a ZTD file combining it this way. Yes, it can be long and it can be tedious, especially if you want to combine a lot of ZTD files. But doing it the way I showed you, if you put, say, 30 files in that folder, I'm going to just exit out of the game here. Don't need to save it. We know it works, but I'll leave it in there. So here's my whole Valentine's collection. There's a total of 27 files. So let's say I want to combine all 27 files. Then I would painstakingly go through all of these folders, take a copy of each of these ZTD files, and put them in a single folder. And then I would start the process of adding them all. The same way I added these 6, but I would add all 27. And then you count and make sure you have your 27 folders, numbered folders in your objects folder. Go to the Scenery Other folder and make sure you have 27 UCS files in the UCS folder. When you have it all done, you go back to your, whatever your combined file folder is, click on your Objects file, your Scenery file, make sure they're both highlighted, right-click them, send to compressed zip folder, and rename your zip folder for the collection. In this case, it was the Valentine Floral Foliage. Well, I'm going to delete that because you just got a preview of my Valentine's collection. And in the previous 2 videos that I did try to make, I actually ended up combining the whole thing. And as I was doing my little show of what all the files would look like, lo and behold, didn't I find, because I hadn't tested them, I just wanted to get this video done, that there were some errors that I had goofed up, so I had to go back and fix a couple of files. So I figured I'd just do a short one. I hope it was informative. I hope it answers your questions. If you have any questions, feel free to send me a PM on the forums, and I'll answer as many questions as I can. If you have any animal questions, I'm sorry, I can't help you. I don't do animals. I do buildings and scenery. And even with buildings, I have to get my good buddy Cricket to program them for me. So when it comes to the programming of the buildings, yeah, go to Cricket. She's good at it. Uh, but your just scenery versions of buildings, scenery versions of foliage, statues, anything like that, sure, give me a PM. And there was something. Oh yeah, for cleaning up your files. Um, I'm sure you've seen on updated posts for updated downloads that the file was updated to clean up the UCS and clean up the file. Well, that's a very easy thing to do. And when I'm combining ZTD files, doesn't matter whose file it is, when I'm combining them to use them in my own game, I will go in and I will clean up the UCS file. Now, I have some files that I haven't finished yet. There is, as you can see, there's a lot of folders here. And that's all projects that I happen to find on an old hard drive. Because I still haven't found my backup binder with all my stuff in it. But these are just some of the things that I found on an old backup drive. And as I start making this stuff, I will show you how to clean up a file and a UCS file. Where to look for files, what files you can delete, and just in your objects your numbered folder inside your objects folder. And then I will show you how to clean up a UCS file, what lines you can get rid of using Fern and Jay's guide at Zookeeper's Lounge. That's what I use, the UCS editing guide. And I go through, and if it's something, a UCS will have an auto rotate. Well, if I don't want my files to auto rotate, I'll just delete the auto rotate line. So there's a few things that you can do to clean up files. Um, I think that's all I can think of right now. If you have any questions, like I said, toss a PM in my inbox and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to making more for you should you request them. Have a good day. Bye for now.